getting late. Won't be long until sundown.
Mr. Wright, your benevolence! Are you done with your investigation for today?
Pretty much. I thought I'd go over what I've learned so far. Care to join me?
Yes, please allow me to help.
Okay. First, we know the High Priest received a warning 3 days ago from someone claiming to be Lady Kira, and it told him not to perform the rite.
That's right, it was that rebel hunter. But what of it?
That's what I'm not sure of yet. Why would Lady Kira want to stop the rite?
If you could solve that mystery.
Right, I could figure out her motive for threatening the High Priest. It might be the break I need, but I just don't know enough right now to act on that lead. How unfortunate for you, Barbed Head. Your only hope is pure speculation. That shall not stand in the hall of justice. You have no actual proof of Lady Kira's involvement in the crime after all. Yeah, the warning letter alone can't prove who killed the High Priest. I'll give you one last chance to withdraw before you are charged under the DC Act.
Your benevolence?
Well, it's true you did not forge or suppress any evidence. That is perhaps a product of my careful monitoring of your every move. I wasn't planning to do anything like that in the first place, your benevolence. But I am going to prove Maya's innocence within the confines of the law. How can you be so sure you will? Because of my undying faith in my clients. That is a lawyer's greatest weapon. What nonsense. You have chosen to dig your own grave. When next we meet, it shall be in the Hall of Justice. As Royal Priestess, it's my duty to reveal the truth through the divination seance. This time, I will prove the insights I glean thereof are the very truth itself. Prepare yourself, for this shall be your last trial and your last rites. Tomorrow shall end with you under the headsman's axe. Tomorrow I'll be defending Maya in that so-called Hall of Justice again. That whole seance thing makes trials here completely different from those back home. Plus, I don't have a shred of conclusive evidence. On the other hand, I've got plenty of confusion and anxiety to spare. I'll have to think of something. After all, I'm the only lawyer in all of Kurain. I have to do this. I will do this. I'll prove Maya's innocence if it's the last thing I do. I wasn't able to find any conclusive evidence yesterday. But if I could figure out Lady Kira's motive for threatening the High Priest, then maybe...
Nick,
Today, well... Don't look so down, Maya. I'm going to defend you. Excuse me. Defend you with everything I've got. You would do well to cease this insanity while you still can. As I said yesterday, I'm going to defend my client in court. Well, know this. You shall not witness a miracle the sort that occurred last time. The moment she is found guilty, You too will be found guilty of abetting the accused. I never claimed to be a miracle maker, but I am good at discovering the truth. And unlike miracles, the truth is always waiting to be found. The truth, you say? It seems you have chosen your fate. This shall be your very last trial. Nick. I'm going to prove you innocent, Maya. You'll see. After all, you have to introduce the plumbed Punisher, warrior of Neo-Twilight Realm, to the folks back home, right? Right. I may have been the offendant this time, but I'll be by your side like always, Nick. Thanks, Maya. This place is tough on lawyers. I'll need all the help I can get. Plus, it's always good to have you on the team. Well, it's time. Let's go. Let the trial of Maya Fey begin. The defense is ready, Your Majesty. Huh? Quiet! Can't you see Prosecutor Sadmardi is absorbed in silent prayer? Great. Trial's barely started and the judge is already mad at me. He's very devout for a prosecutor. Huh? Why is the accused standing over there? Oh, well... Your Majesty, in addition to being the accused, she is also my assistant. The accused is your assistant, you say? Very well, then. The criminal does indeed make a fitting partner to a lawyer with a defiled soul. That wasn't very nice. Yeah, well, bad-mouthing lawyers seems to be a custom of sorts here in Karayan. I must say I'm surprised to see you still here in Karayan, Mr. Wright. And even more so to find you in the Hall of Justice once more. I cannot fathom why you would willingly risk your life in yet another trial. The answer's simple, Your Majesty. I'm a lawyer, and this is what lawyers do. Although, to be frank, I'd rather be anywhere but here right now. Such foolishness. Prosecutor Sadmardi, are you ready to begin now? Yes, Your Majesty. The prosecution is ready. Let us begin without further delay. But first, I promise you both this. I will cast your wicked souls into the fires of hell. Thus shall the soul of the victim attain salvation. Splendid! I would expect nothing less of you, Prosecutor Sadmardi. Please save the victim's soul, Prosecutor Sadmardi. Punish the wicked lawyer who dares stop these last rites. I think I'll pass on the whole fire and brimstone deal. But I'm not surprised by your words or stance, considering what Apollo's told me about you. So it was you who instilled that putrid loyally guile within him. Putrid... what? He too must soon face the fires, lest his soul be lost to redemption. But I shall send you on ahead so that he will not be lonely when he arrives. Sorry, but I'm afraid it won't be that easy. People say I never know when to give up. Nervous, Maya? A little. Feels like it's been ages since we stood side by side like this in court. Too bad I'm the defendant. Don't worry. We haven't lost a case together yet. You're right. Let's give this everything we've got, Nick. Now then, Prosecutor Sadmardi, would you please explain the case at hand? Of course, Your Majesty. Let us begin with the last rites of the victim. Maya Fey has been charged with the crime of murder. The victim of her heinous crime was High Priest Taras Nidmi. He was conducting the purification rite when he was brutally slain. And the cause of death? Let us review the victim's autopsy report and the crime scene photos, shall we? The cause of death was blood loss from a stab wound delivered to the abdomen. The murder weapon was likely the Warbad dagger, which was used in the rite. However, the weapon has yet to be found, though the scene was thoroughly searched. A sacred relic used as a tool of murder. The Holy Mother's wrath shall be most severe. The murder itself took place at the height of the purification rite. The accused had donned Lady Kira's sacred robes, and the victim was there to offer prayers as a high priest of Quiranism. During the rite, the victim and accused were the only two at the inner sanctum. Therefore, the only person who could have slain the victim is Maya Fey. I must say that does cast a great deal of suspicion upon the accused. Indeed. Now then, allow me to submit this diagram of the crime scene as evidence in this case. In Quiranism, slaying a priest is a sin most grave and dreadful. As such, Maya Fey's soul shall be plunged into the lowest level of hell, the hell of tickling. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't. Fucking the hell of tickling. Fuck's sake. There she shall be tickled without end for 500 million years. I can't. That is a terrible thing. Come on, stop it. Come on. Pull it together. That is a terrible fate indeed. Would the defence care to respond? And here I thought the lowest level of hell was the hell of back pain. I don't remember killing anyone, and I don't have the dagger or anything like that. As my client stated, she has no memory of the event as described by the prosecution. More importantly, she had no motive to kill the High Priest in the first place. I thought you might say that. Nevertheless, the meaningless prattle of lawyers is utterly ineffectual here in the Hall of Justice. For all we made clear by her benevolence, Wraitha Padma Karine's insights.
So it is, and it shall be. The divination seance reveals the truth for all to see.
Here we go again.
Bailiff, please show in the royal priestess.
It's Princess Wraitha. How beautiful her benevolence looks again today. Glory to the Holy Mother for this blessed day. As popular as ever, I see. Rest assured, good people of Karayan, I will defeat this murderer and her abettor. They shall not escape their freedom expressed today.
What a joy it is to have the royal priestess back in the Hall of Justice. May the Holy Mother grant us her divine favour. Adara Karine.
She sure looks pleased with herself, especially for someone who didn't know what a Freedom Express was until yesterday. Is there something stuck to my face, barbed head? No, nothing, Your Benevolence.
Now then, Your Benevolence, the divination seance, if you please.
Very well. Nanya, my robe.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Yeah, there's no way to prove that's Maya.
The victim's Mitmire has spoken. The divination seance is complete.
Great, another clearly incriminating seance vision. It could not be any clearer, O foul defence. The accused donned the sacred robes of Lady Kira and then attacked the victim.
Oh, how terrible it must have been. The figure of Lady Kira lit against the dim lantern light, the scent of incense growing ever more potent as she drew near. One could almost sense the horror Abbot in me must have felt.
The facts as presented by her benevolence are indisputable. But that wasn't me. To do something, Nick. I'm working on it. That couldn't have been any clearer. Looks like I'm in for another uphill battle. The accused committed this vile act during our ancestral tradition, the purification rite. Come to think of it, the Rites Guide explains the multi-part purification rite in detail. The transformation rite. The High Priest reads scripture while the priestess dons the robes of Lady Kira. Ah. The rite of water. Lady Kira enters the spring and the High Priest purifies her along with her dagger. The rite of fire. The priestess circles the sacred flames to purify her soul. Indeed. It would seem that the murder occurred during the transformation rite. The rite dictates the High Priest stand in front of the spring. Therefore, the accused must have attacked him from the direction of the broken lantern. There we go. That's what's going to ruin it for you. Well, barbed head, would you care to object? Of course, because I know my client is innocent. So you say. You truly do not know when you are beaten, do you? I managed to pull it off last time with Albie. I'll just have to do it again.
You intend to find fault with her benevolence's insights yet again? It would seem lawyers are Polcoonan creatures indeed.
Look at the Polcoonan. Polcoonan! What exactly is Polcoonan? Someone who's a real piece of work, so to speak. They can call me anything they bloody well want. The only thing I care about is uncovering the truth. So, barbed head, are you foolish enough to risk your life for your so-called truth? Because my insights are the truth. To deny them is to willingly dig your own grave. The victim commenced the purification rite by bowing to the lanterns and reading a sutra. As the first part, the transformation rite, ended, he lowered the sutra, and suddenly he heard the accused approaching footsteps and smelled her incense-laden robes. It was then the victim felt an intense pain. I believe this is when he was stabbed. As his life's blood spilled over, his vision dimmed till finally he passed from our world. That is everything the victim experienced in his final moments. Dressed in the sacred robes of Lady Kira, the accused rushed the victim head-on. The brutal stabbing she perpetrated could not have been any clearer. Yes, it is plain for all to see. No, it wasn't me. A sudden drowsiness came over me during the transformation rite. I didn't even get the chance to put Lady Kira's robes on. You waste our time with such meaningless statements, accused. You cannot explain away the truths revealed by the royal priestess's divine insight. Oh, how'd you end up finding contradictions last time? The deceased's final moments include all 5 senses. You mean the words that appeared in the pool of souls? Looked to me like the bigger the word, the stronger the sensation was to the victim. Yeah, that's how it looked to me too. The sensations themselves are never wrong, only their interpretation. That's why I tried to point out mistakes in Rifer's insights the last time. So there could be contradictions between what had been me felt and her insights, huh? You got it. I'm going to find them this time too. Yeah, I could use a refresher. Switch between insights with left and right. Look for inconsistencies between them and the sensations in the vision. Visions can be pulled across, jump to different points, using interesting. Okay, the lanterns are too fed to tell if it's broken or not, so...
Objection!
The victim supposedly heard the accused approaching footsteps. But did he really? What nonsense is this? Is it not abundantly clear? No, it's not, because there is something strange about those footsteps. Strange? Explain yourself, Barbed Head. The footsteps are strange because the timing doesn't make sense. There shouldn't be any footsteps. There should not be footsteps as the accused was approaching the victim, really? Do you suggest the accused was actually floating through the air? Well, I mean, I suggest you hold your tongue.
Suggestion noted. Huh. They're not getting any louder. And why exactly does that matter? Please focus your attention on the incense the victim smelled. The scent grows stronger as the accused approaches. If the accused really had approached the victim, the sound of her footsteps would have gotten louder as the scent of incense grew stronger. That makes perfect sense! How can that be explained, Your Benevolence?
Well, there must be a reason.
Objection!
It is as they say, even a putrid worm of a lawyer will turn. What does that even mean?
He's not exactly singing your praises, that's for sure.
Still, we cannot discount this information solely on account of its lawyerly source. Your Benevolence. Perhaps you must listen more carefully to the Abbot's mitma. Listen more carefully? What's he talking about?
Yes, it would appear so. I shall try to refine the sensation.
Refine the sensation?
I can more accurately gauge sensations by deepening my communication with a mitma.
I didn't know you could do that. Why have we never done this before?
By refining a sensation, a clearer picture of the truth can be discovered. Oh, blessed mitma, I beseech you, hear me now and respond to my call.
Footsteps changing to bells? What could that mean? Bells? The only bells at the scene of the crime were...
Ah, the jingling must have come from Abbot Inme's bells.
You mean the big ones he had on his ankles?
Well, there you have it.
The sound of bells was from the High Priest's own footsteps.
Then that means...
If the footsteps belonged to the victim himself, it means the victim who was moving and not the accused. The victim was the one who went running toward the broken lantern from the spring. A far cry from what Her Benevolence's insight would have us believe. But why would the victim have approached the accused?
Maybe he was trying to defend himself.
Please explain. He could have felt threatened by Lady Kira standing there with a dagger. If so, he might have fought to overpower her before she attacked.
Still your voices, this is nothing but a theory, and a poor one at that. Be not led astray by the lawyer's obvious postulation.
Objection!
While his insolence is inexcusable, I would ask you calm yourself, Lady Benevolence.
Is there something you would care to say, Prosecutor Sodmari?
Even if it was Abbot Inme who moved, it does not negate the accused's crime. What do you mean? The accused was likely waiting for the High Priest to approach.
Ah!
And as he neared, she plunged the dagger into him. It was simple as that. Oh, right. Really doesn't change much, does it?
Yes, it is as the prosecutor has said. In fact, it is as I meant to say all along, too.
Right. That's why you were so shocked when you first heard it.
Understand now, lawyer. That contradiction you conjured up has come to the naught. Once I hone my insights, it will vanish like the dying rays of the sun. See? The fact that it was but in me who moved changes nothing. Oh, come on, Fish, you gotta keep you cool. That contradiction I pointed out must mean something. That one sensation changed after the Princess Rafa refined her vision. It stands to reason that something else might have changed too because of the refinement. I should focus on any sensations that have changed, while searching for more contradictions between them and her insights.
Objection!
Hold it. How do you know the purification rites was performed exactly where it was supposed to be? Huh, that's easy. The customs governing the rite are very clear, and Abbot Inme would have adhered to them. Well, that's strange.
Mr. Wright, would you care to explain what's so strange?
Yes, I would ask you to consider the sound of the victim's footsteps. The sound of bells changes to the sound of water at one point. What's this? It's simple. The victim must have stepped in some water. Oh? Yes. And the only source of water in the inner sanctum is the spring. And therein lies the contradiction. Oh, what contradiction? I believe the rite started out as it should have. The victim stood with his back to the spring and the accused stood right in front of him. But we now know the victim then moved into the spring.
Paul Kunker, this is absurd!
This means the accused's location differs from her benevolence's insight indicates.
Then where do you propose the accused stood once she donned Lady Kiwa's robes?
Based on the sound of the victim's footsteps, I believe Maya was standing here.
Take that!
Until this moment, we had just assumed that Abbot Inme and Miss Fay were standing where they were supposed to be, as shown in the Rites Guide. In short, the victim should have been standing with his back to the spring and the accused in front. However, if that is how they were really standing, he couldn't have stepped into the spring as he approached her. The problem is the victim did step into the spring. This can only mean that Miss Fay had actually been standing in the water.
But if this is true, the positions will be completely reversed. What's going on here, Miss Fay? Were you really standing in the spring?
I'm sorry, but I barely remember anything about the rite.
The High Priest would never make such an obvious blunder during a rite.
Is that even possible?
That's enough!
Be that as it may, this does not overturn my insights.
It doesn't.
Let us say the accused was standing in the spring. So what?
So what? This completely reverses their positions, is what?
That their positions differ from what is customary is rather curious. However, what does it change? As soon as not to erase the accused's brutal crime.
I guess you have a point there.
You lawyers are an absurd breed. Never thinking ahead, you cling to the first insignificant contradiction you can muster.
Ugh.
Sounds like Princess Rafa has a pretty good grasp on what lawyers are all about.
Oh, Maya, where would I be without your brutally frank commentary right now? Is this contradiction really meaningless? But something really doesn't feel right. Did I take a wrong turn somewhere?
I will now amend my insight to account for the new truth. Now the contradiction is no more. But the truth of the matter still stands, no matter how stubbornly you deny it.
What do you have to say for yourself now, Mr. Wright?
Nick!
Your Majesty, this lawyer may have raised a trivial objection, but Her Benevolence's insights have no further inadequacies of any kind. Yes, so it would seem. Wait a second, but there is another contradiction. Still you flounder about, wretched beast. Though you rack that putrid brain of yours, nothing worthwhile will come of it. Maya, please tell me you remember something that might help us out here.
Sorry, I really can't remember a thing. But now that the place I was standing in has changed, who knows? That alone may cause a new discrepancy of Princess Rafa's insight.
That's right. We now know Maya was standing in the spring. A major change like that could well produce a contradiction. I should take another look at the inner sanctum diagram in the court record. And confirm where Maya and Albertini were standing, and focus on finding any discrepancies between their positions and the insights.
Objection!
Knew the broken lantern was going to come up. Your benevolence, I found a new contradiction.
You did? No doubt it was another of your vile attempts to slander my insights.
No, take a good look at what the victim saw. It just might change your mind. The lantern flame behind the accused was flickering.
There is nothing unusual about that, especially as the wind had stirred.
No, that's where you're wrong. If the accused had been standing in the spring, then what you see here should be one of the lanterns flanking the statue.
I fail to see your point.
My point is something is wrong here. The two lanterns flanking the statue are both outfitted with glass wind guards. Neither lantern's flame should have been flickering in the wind in the first place.
Huh. She seems pretty tickled, Nick.
I don't remember saying anything funny.
I fail to see what you wish to prove here, but very well. I shall refine the vision and reveal the truth for you all to see. O blessed Mictma, I beseech you, fix your sight upon the lantern there.
Huh? The lantern doesn't have a wind guard on it.
And rightly so. For the wind guard was removed to reveal the sacred flame within for the rite of fire.
But we weren't doing the rite of fire, were we?
Therefore, there is nothing odd about the flame flickering.
Say what? When we searched the crime scene, the lanterns had the wind guards on.
That's because the police put them back on. The sacred flames have burned uninterrupted for hundreds of years, Defense. We could not risk them being extinguished even during investigation.
That would never fly back home.
Well, Barbed Head, are you done quibbling? If so, it's time to bow down before this testimony of the Mictma. Nick.
Don't worry, Maya. I'm just getting started. Alright, let's go over everything we know so far. Maya was wearing Lady Kira's robes and standing in the spring. The High Priest is thought to have been moving toward her. I should look for sensations that stand contradiction to this arrangement. I won't give up. I'm going to find a contradiction that will undermine the accusation against Maya.